Hello, my name is Casey Kelly and I'm the Rocketpreneur. Listen, I'm here to help you make, manage, and maintain your money through a spiritual and financial growth mindset. I became a biblical millionaire by 29 years old, and I'm here to help you do the same.
Good morning, Facebook and the world, wherever you're going to watch this now, today, tomorrow, who knows? I could be in the future, maybe. Listen, this is the Rocketpreneur, Rocket Preacher live weekly business sermon. I'm your host, Casey Kelly. Today, we're doing Live 006. This is the sixth Rocket Preacher. I'm super excited to share with you the idea of living with honor by keeping your word. Listen, in 7 years of growing a company from nothing, like literally an idea, into more than $20+ million in sales and being able to make millions of dollars and become a millionaire by the age of 29, I can tell you that the number one thing that helped me, number one, was keeping my word, being a person of honor, integrity, commitment. Listen, this world is full of talkers. Everybody talks, but nobody rocks. Listen, when I was growing up, I was a rock star. Just kidding. I pretended every day. But I was on stage and I'd be playing my guitar and I'd be singing. And between songs, I didn't really know what to say. If you've ever been to like a really good concert with a big band, just picture your favorite musician or your favorite band, and they're on stage, they don't typically talk a lot between songs, mostly because they don't actually know how to communicate with audiences a lot of times because they're introverts and they don't really like people. They just want to express themselves artistically. However, you'll notice sometimes they talk and sometimes it's effective and we kind of yearn for them to say something. But I didn't get that because obviously I like to talk a lot. And so as I'm this young musician, there's a couple hundred kids at my show, I'm standing there playing music and I'd be talking about the song. I'd be like, I wrote this song about a girl, my life is hard, and da-da-da-da-da. And from the back of the room, I'd always hear my dad scream without fail, "Less talk, more rock." And he'd tell me to shut up, basically, right? And I share that with you because I think in life, we need to be people that use our words wisely. We need to let, as the Bible says, our yes be yes and our no be no. If we're people who do not commit wholeheartedly to the idea that we must be resolved, committed, and keep our word, then we're going to lose. Let me give you an example of keeping my word in business. Listen, we're trying to line incentives for this Christmas promotion for our company. And we had a goal to sell 1,000 packages that month of this insurance and accessory bundle. And it was our objective to be able to do that. And so we said, okay, how can we do this? We need to align the incentives, right? In order to hit your goals, you have to align incentives, especially for team members that are sales-oriented people. And so we said, if we want to sell 1,000 packages, we should give them this crazy bonus. Like everybody who gets a genius package that hits at least 100 packages sold will be entered to win an iPad mini, right? And everybody will be entered. But then we said, well, if everybody sold 200 per store on average, so if we could get it all the way up to like 1,500 packages sold, we could buy an iPad mini outright for everyone. And so then we made this community effort that we could buy an iPad for everybody. Now, this is back when iPad minis were the brand new hotness, right? Nobody had iPad minis. And so everybody's like, oh, I want those. And so we found a product that aligned incentives for the team. And so when we went to go align this proposition to our team, we started pitching the vision. Like, hey, everybody, if you hit this goal or that goal and the whole team gets it, we're buying everybody iPad minis. And obviously everybody was stoked. I mean, it was Christmas time. They're like, I could sell it. I can make money. I could give it away. And so there's just this exciting joy about this idea. But what ended up happening is as they sold the packages and they started running towards the goal, they actually ended up attaining our 1,500 goal, which was amazing. But what we didn't realize is on the back end, and this is a lesson to be learned, we had not counted the cost of each package plus the commissions, plus the iPad cost, which was like $400 per iPad at the time for about 35 employees, into what we would really net when all was said and done. And so what ends up happening is we have this incentive. It's super exciting. We're super excited about the promotion because we're like, it'll get everybody to sell. Everybody did end up selling, but unfortunately, what we discovered was that we ran literally almost out of all cash to pay for that. We spent more money on iPads, commissions, and the cost to operate that deal than it actually costs us to fund the incentive. And so unfortunately, we didn't make any money. And here I am actually losing a couple $1,000s if I wanted to keep my word in this. Now, last minute, I could have said, hey guys, we screwed up. When we did the deal and we made the plan, we didn't count the cost. I mean, I could have owned that and just asked the guys to be understanding, and they would have, but then they wouldn't have trusted me. I could have said, hey, we're not going to buy them today because we don't have the money to do it because we just cut payroll, and or I could keep my word at all costs. And so I remember sitting with a couple of our executives and we were talking and we're like, okay, we screwed up. Lesson learned. Look, failure is a precursor to success. And so we failed. How do we fix that failure now? And so we were talking around the room and everybody said, look, we've got to keep our word. And so everybody decided, there was the executive group, to put down a fifth of each one of the costs, so $1,000 each, to be able to pay our people rightly, because that's what we committed to do. And then we would worry about making the money back on the other side as the guys continue to remain motivated because we kept our word. Now, this may not pertain to you in regards to the fact that your boss may not have given you an iPad mini, but in business or in life, it is critical that we keep our word and the character of a relationship remains consistent based on what has been said, right? We have to let our yes be yes, our no be no, and we have to be people who are willing to keep our word at all costs in order to live a life of honor, to have life of honor. Keep your freaking word. It's that simple. And I share this with you because every day I watch people change their word or change their behaviors to not be aligned with what they said. People change their minds, right? And it's okay. But at the same time, if you make a commitment, you need to be faithful to that commitment. Now, here's one thing that I do want to say as a caveat. If you have overextended your life, meaning you have committed to too many things, right? So you're trying to be faithful and you're trying to keep your word. And you say, okay, I got a job and I'm married and I've got a kid to take care of, or I've got things that I've got to deal with. But you have overcommitted yourself to projects, let's say, like, yeah, I'll take care of that design for you. Yeah, I'll take care of this deal that we agreed to. Or yeah, I'll help you move tomorrow. Or yeah, I'll help blah, 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 blah. It is not sin, bad, or wrong to bow out, to ask this person humbly and honestly to forgive you, but you cannot do it. I cannot tell you how difficult this was for me to begin to practice and be comfortable with, because unfortunately, I'm the guy who says, yeah, I can do it all. Yeah, I can do it all. And I commit because I want to be able to make people happy. And I also want to change their lives and I want to do good. But sometimes we do more harm by committing or saying yes, being yes, yeah, I'll do it, and not being able to follow through to our fullest potential. The Bible says, whatever you do, do with your whole heart as if doing for God, not for man, so that you can please God. Like, we have to work with our whole hearts as if we're trying to love and make God happy, even though he's happy with us because of our faith in him. To honor God, we have to keep our word. But it is not wrong to have to say, I overcommitted. I need to back up. I need to stop. And so if you're a person right now who's struggling with the fact that you've gotten disaligned in your life and maybe you've overcommitted to things and you need to change your character and behavior, let me encourage you, it's okay to ask somebody in humility to let you off the hook. I would strongly encourage you to count the cost of committing, right? Jesus said, who goes to build a house and does not count the cost and builds the foundation and doesn't have enough money to build the rest of the building? Will not everyone laugh at him or her? And I share that with you because in my life, multiple times, including the time right now I just told you about the iPad story and having to keep my word and lose thousands of dollars because I didn't count the cost. It's so critical how in business and in life, your word is all you have. What you say you'll do is really all you have. It's not the dead presidents on trees. It's not the money that you might make. It's not the deals that you might accomplish or conquer. It's all about keeping your word. The people I trust most in my life, my mentors, my friends, are people that said, I will, and they did. And so this concept of living with honor at all costs, how can you live with honor today? Inside my business world, people have said to me repeatedly that I am a man who keeps his word, and that's why they trust me. I've heard guys say to me, and this is not a boast, this is honestly just a character reflection, right? People say to me, you're more faithful than any payer I've ever met. You have kept your word. You have paid me when no one else has. Others burned me to the ground, and you kept your word, and you didn't screw me, Casey. You didn't try and pinch me. You didn't over leverage me. You honored me. The Bible says, and this is truth, that we should let someone else praise us, not our own lips, because that is a true sign of actually being somebody who has earned the respect of others. And I struggle with that. I mean, I can preach this all day long to you, being like, be someone of honor and keep your word and do what you say and live with honor. But I can also be a guy who falls short. We all can fall short. The Bible says we all have fallen short of the glory of God, meaning all of our righteous acts and good deeds will fall short, meaning you should just stop trying to be perfect and start realizing this is why we need grace. This is why we need love. This is why we need mercy, because we will fail. We will drop the ball. We're going to lose. But the key to life is being faithful to the best of your ability. And when you can't be faithful, you need to uncommit. And that's real. And so my challenge for you today, one thing I want you to take away from this, short little idea of your day on this Friday. How can you identify one thing in your life that you probably need to commit and go all the way to the end with, go all in like we've talked about before, or uncommit? What's that one thing? Because there is a power in saying no. I have learned that power over 7 years of growing a company and tens of millions of dollars in sales and hundreds of deals and deals of the size of $1 million. I told you in the last couple Rocket Preachers and things that I've had to do. And I can tell you that being faithful and having a character that people can rely on and trust is more important than riches. The Bible says it is better to have a good name than it is to have riches. And so what is that one thing today that gets you moving towards your objectives? Can you picture that thing in your mind today? What do you need to change to be more faithful in? For me, a couple weeks ago, I was convicted that despite the fact that I was walking and despite the fact that I wanted to do more with my health, I wasn't really living consistently with goals. I wasn't. I'd lost 45 pounds. I gained about 8. I gained about 10. I lose about 3. I go up and down, but I was not living consistently. And so listen, I got convicted. And so I decided as a goal, I need to walk 5 miles before noon. That's my goal. I can't do that if I'm not up early enough. I can't, because I have alignment and balance I'm working on in my life, because I have other commitments, other things I said I had to be faithful to. And so if that's true, how do I get the 5 miles in? Well, this morning, I'm happy to tell you that I have walked 4.46 miles this morning, and it's 9:23 in the morning where I'm at. Okay. And I share that with you, because, not to boast, but to tell you, you will never reach your objective goals if you're not faithful, flat out. And the truth is that faithfulness comes when we keep our word to ourselves and others. And so the challenge of today, like I said to you, how do you be a doer? How do you let your yes be yes and your no be no? And how do you keep your word despite the cost? Thank you for watching today. This is the Rocket Preacher live weekly business sermon. It's hosted on Facebook. It's distributed on YouTube and other places as well. Listen, if you like what you see here, I've got several more of them. This is the 6th one. And so go back and watch the others. More to come every week. We have a podcast that we're actually launching June 6, 2018. I'm super excited about this. I've already pre-recorded several of them, and I'm excited. I've shared with a few people, and they're like, I believe this is going to be some powerful truths to share. It's a much longer set, so it's 30 minutes or 40 minutes or 25 minutes of your life versus 10 to 15. And the objective goal is to help you build spiritual and financial wealth. Listen, if you want to learn more about me, what we're trying to do, you can jump into our private Facebook group that I have listed in the section over there, where we talk about real life, and you can get direct access to questions if you have them from me. And I can tell you how I became a millionaire and how I want to help you do the same. Right. And those are the objectives, and how you can win, and how, like, I live in this house. I own every single piece of this house. I own everything you see in this room by God's grace. I don't have any debt on these things. And I want to help you do the same. If 90% of America is living paycheck to paycheck, why not change it? Why not be different? How about we radically paradigm shift the world's mind about faith and money? Faith and business are not inconsistent, and money is not evil. It can become a root, or it can be a tool for profitability. So that's the objective, to help you. My name is Casey Kelly. I am the Rocketpreneur. This is the Rocket Preacher weekly business sermon. I look forward to seeing you again, and I hope you're having a fantastic, faithful day.